The Norges Bank, Norway's central bank, holds the reins to the world's largest sovereign wealth fund. Tasked with managing vast national resources, its influence stretches far beyond Norway's borders. This financial titan is orchestrated by government-appointed leadership, ensuring that national interests are woven deeply into its fabric. In contrast, the US version would derive financial clout from a more contentious source, forcibly realigned corporate assets. Norway's model of state-controlled wealth management presents a stark blueprint for the proposed US strategy. This introduction sets the stage for exploring how such a radical plan might unfold on American soil. The Norges option didn't emerge in a vacuum. Faced with crippling political gridlock, a desperate consensus within the US Senate sparked the idea. By imagining a scenario where traditional measures fail, these lawmakers envisioned a bold leap towards centralized economic control, reminiscent of wartime measures but aimed at peacetime prosperity. This part delves into the origins and motivations behind such a drastic rethinking of US economic policy, a response to an era where conventional tools seem increasingly ineffective. Envision the US president declaring the militarization of bank stocks, creating a web of mutual financial dependencies. By wielding the power of eminent domain, the government could then integrate these assets into a singular, powerful entity, a government-controlled behemoth dictating corporate America's pulse. This segment explores the operational framework of the Norges option, detailing the step-by-step process of transforming private assets into a centralized, government-controlled fund. Is the Norges option constitutional? This question hinges on the composition of the Supreme Court and its interpretation of eminent domain and economic regulation. The constitutionality of such a sweeping move could very well depend on the judicial appointees presiding over the matter. This discussion addresses the intricate legal battles and constitutional debates that would undoubtedly arise from the implementation of the Norges option. Short-term economic shockwaves would reverberate through markets, potentially stabilizing into long-term gains as seen in other nationalized models. However, the transformation of free market foundations into a centralized economic structure would present unprecedented challenges and opportunities. This analysis examines the economic ramifications of such a radical restructuring of American capitalism. Under the Norges option, the government would commandeer major media networks and corporations, potentially stifling dissent and reshaping public discourse. This control could lead to a significant redefinition of press freedom and corporate independence in the US. This part evaluates the implications of such extensive governmental control over information and corporate governance. Imagine a scenario where objections from healthcare CEOs to cost-cutting measures are met not with negotiation but with dismissal and asset seizure. This section explores the potential for the Norges option to radically alter public services like healthcare, where government control could replace corporate resistance with streamlined decision-making. China and Russia have shown that aggressive state control can sometimes lead to efficient industry management. This part compares the proposed US strategy with these international counterparts, drawing lessons and cautionary tales from their experiences. The ethical landscape of the Norges option is fraught with dilemmas. From the morality of seizing private assets to the broader implications for democratic principles, this discussion probes the ethical quagmires that such a policy would entail. Despite its dramatic potential, the real-world implementation of the Norges option faces significant hurdles. This analysis weighs its feasibility against political, social, and economic realities, assessing whether such a radical turn is even within the realm of possibility. As we conclude, the Norges option stands as a testament to the lengths to which a government might go to wrest control from entrenched corporate powers. Whether this remains a theoretical exercise or evolves into a tangible policy will depend on the evolving interplay of economic pressures, political will, and public opinion. In crafting this exploration, we step back to reflect on the profound implications of such a radical shift in American economic and political strategy. What future awaits on the other side of such a bold experiment, only time will tell.